Mr. Speaker, and still I rise. And still I rise, a proud, liberated Democrat, unbought, unbossed, and unafraid. And I rise today, Mr. Speaker, to call to the attention of the House this place that I revere, and notwithstanding recent events that I have great respect for. Mr. Speaker, I rise today in response to a censure that took place as it relates to my behavior. I have been told by some that they did not have an opportunity to hear the actual resolution as it was read. I have here H-Res 189, the censure resolution as it relates to my behavior. I believe this resolution should be read. I am not in any way upset with the Speaker. I want people to know that the Speaker did what he was supposed to do. He did what he was supposed to do when we had the joint session of Congress. When I interrupted, the Speaker called it to my attention. He did it on multiple occasions. I have no reason in my heart to be upset with the Speaker. Later, persons came over and escorted me out. I appreciate them. They were very kind to me, the officers, very kind. They said kind words to me. And as a result of my behavior, I have been censured. I did disrupt. And I did so because the president indicated that he had a mandate. And I wanted him to know that he didn't have a mandate to cut Medicaid. I did this because Medicaid is the only insurance many people have in this country. I am blessed. As I stand here now, there's a physician waiting. If something should happen, I will be taken to that physician. I have the best health care in the world. There are other people who have less than I. I would have them have what I have. But I surely will not stand by and see them lose what little they do have. Medicaid is for people who don't have the kind of health care that 435 members of Congress and 100 members of the Senate have. But they do have some health care. It has been approved by legislation that the Energy and Commerce Committee would cut $880 billion from their budget. The overwhelming majority of that budget has to do with health care. I see no way for this cut to take place without cutting into Medicaid. I am going to fight the cutting of Medicaid. I hope that this comment, this message that I'm giving today will deter them and cause them to go a different way. Then they can say, we were never going to do it. Al Green just had this false notion. Well, let me have it. Don't cut Medicaid. It's all they have. This is the richest country in the world. Mr. Musk has doctors. He will get the best health care. Let him understand that he should be on my side. He should be on the side of the people who need this health care. He has the ear of the president. Mr. Musk, speak to him. He listens to you. But for the grace of God, dear brother, you could be on Medicaid. You've just been blessed. Don't assume that it was your intellect that has caused you all of these great blessings that you've received. You've just been blessed beyond measure. Speak to the president and tell him that Medicaid ought not be cut.
Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat. Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order, remove the this gentleman from the chamber. Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House.
Lunatics. The President of the United States, at a joint session of Congress, called members of Congress lunatics. That was an act of incivility. Incivility. There comes a time when you cannot allow the president's incivility to take advantage of our civility. And that's what's happening in this country. His incivility is overwhelming our civility. We cannot allow this. That act of incivility was in direct response to the president's incivility. Mr. President, you, sir, you were wrong when you pointed to the members of Congress and called them lunatics. Democrats, I might add, called them lunatics. The president hasn't been sanctioned. President hasn't been reprimanded. No censure of the president. The president is above the law. Supreme Court has said as much. He can do things that no other can do. Above the law as it relates to certain things, but not as it relate to all things. Not all. He is still subject to the norms of society. The decorum that you expect from me, you have to respect and expect from the president. Why would we allow him to use his incivility and expect me to continue to engage in civility as it relates to his incivility? Why, Al Green, would you come to the well before your colleagues in the world and commit an act of incivility? Here is why. Because when the President of the United States, right there at that podium, addressed the members of Congress, Democrats seated on this side, seated, many of them saying nothing, the President of the United States looked upon them, pointed toward them, and said, I quote, and said, so it's important for us to move to impeachment, because impeachment is the means by which a reckless, ruthless president can be brought into check. This is the balance that we have. When all else fails, when the Congress majority refuses to act, and when he disregards the orders of the courts, impeachment is still available. I intend to bring articles of impeachment.
And we have to tell President Trump that Canada is not going to become the 51st state. Russia invaded Ukraine. Greenland is not for sale. And he also needs to know, dear friends, that Gaza is not going to become a resort. Gaza is not going to become a resort. There must be a home for the Palestinian people. And I want President Trump to know that he's not going to have a third term. There will be no third term. 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 And I want you to know, Mr. President, this David is going to bring articles of impeachment against you within the next 30 days. Within the next 30 days. I'm bringing articles of impeachment. I'm coming for you, Mr. President. This David is coming for you. You don't deserve the office you hold. You can't be entrusted with liberty and justice for all. You can't be entrusted with government of the people, by the people, for the people. I'm coming for you. I'm your David. God bless you.
That is being returned to them by way of this tariff. I would also remind people that as we move forward, I have indicated that impeachment is imminent. The filing of articles of impeachment is imminent. We are currently in a countdown to impeachment. Now, those who know me know that I wouldn't say this if I were not going to move on with it. And I am. We will have articles of impeachment filed. I cannot tell you what the vote will be. And there are some who would say, well, you shouldn't file the articles of impeachment if you can't win. No, you need to know where people stand. You really do. We need to know. I heard a member just yesterday indicate that we need to have a certain thing brought before the House to understand where people are. It is not unusual for us to have votes to find out where people are on certain issues. And this is no exception. And the first articles of impeachment may not succeed. The second may not succeed. But having laid the foundation for the president's impeachment in the past, I know that impeachment can succeed. I'm willing to suffer whatever punishment is available to me. I didn't say to anyone, don't punish me. I've said I'll accept the punishment, but it's worth it to let people know that there are some of us who are going to stand up against this president's desire to cut Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security.
Were you saying you have no mandate? Is that what you told us?
That's what he has no mandate to cut Medicaid. None. We have a president who has indicated that Russia is not an aggressor. He is sending a message that he really does believe that he's above the law. I think we have to do as much as we can, as fast as we can, to prevent him from becoming a dictator.
I have to be candid. I would do it again. I would do it because I care about these people on Medicaid. For edification purposes, the state of Texas was accorded $100 billion. 100 billion Medicaid dollars. 100 billion Medicaid dollars sent to the state of Texas to help poor people. And what did the state of Texas do? The state of Texas rejected $100 billion for poor people and Medicaid. 100 billion, not million, 100 billion. State of Texas does not have the goodwill necessary to manage Medicaid dollars. If we block grant this money and send it to Texas, those who are in need of it will get less of it. We have to stand up for them. They're among the least in our society. Unfortunately, we have to stand up for them. So I'm standing up for those people. I will continue to stand, and I will continue to tell the world that this incivility has to be dealt with. We have to deal with the president's incivility. The name calling never ceases.
Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat. Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant at Arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber. Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House.
Move to the well and file my resolution for Palestine's right to exist, affirming the state of Palestine's right to exist. I've read it to you. Some of you may be tuning in late, so I'll read it to you again. This is the resolution. I voted for Israel's right to exist on Tuesday of this week. I think we ought to vote similarly for Palestine to have a right to exist as well. It reads, affirming the state of Palestine's right to exist. Whereas this resolution may be cited as the original resolution affirming the state of Palestine's right to exist, whereas Palestinian people are inhabitants of the land of Palestine, whereas in 1947 the United Nations General Assembly passed Resolution 181, which called for the partition of Palestine into Arab and Jewish states, whereas on May 14, 1948, President Harry Truman issued a statement recognizing Israel as an independent state. I support Israel as an independent state. That's not here. I support Israel as an independent state. This is a sidebar comment. I have supported it. I will continue to support it. I've supported Israel by voting for more than $50 billion in funds. But I did it because I thought we were moving toward a two-state solution. I did it because I thought a two-state solution was the will and the desire of the House of Representatives. Well, I've reached a point now where I have to know. That was what I thought. Passage of this resolution will give me the certainty I need. The absence of the passage of the resolution will cause me to have a great deal of consternation about how I'm going to approach votes in the future. To continue. Whereas on November 28, 2023, the House of Representatives agreed to House Resolution 888, reaffirming the state of Israel's right to exist. I voted for it. I'd vote for it again and again and again if given the opportunity. By a vote of 412 yeas, 1 nay, and 1 present. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the House of Representatives, 1, affirms Palestine's right to exist and at a future time to become a state. I accentuated at a future time because I'm making it clear to those who would make the argument that this is about saying that Palestine should become a state today. That's not what I'm saying. At a future time. I don't know when in the future, but I do believe that we ought to have that as our goal, since we say that we want a two-state solution. Number 2, recognizes the two-state solution as the only solution that will secure a lasting peace in the region. I believe this. There are some people who want a one-state solution. They mouth two-state, but in their hearts, they want one state. I'm not one of them. What I say is what I mean. Those of you who say you want a two-state solution and you really want a one-state solution, well, you shouldn't. This is not for you. This is for people who want a two-state solution. And number 3, rejects calls for Palestine's destruction. Now there will be people who will say, nobody's calling for Palestine's destruction. Well, you're wrong. I was on C-SPAN just this week, and there was a caller who called in and who literally, by virtue of the way he presented his argument, wanted to see the destruction of Palestine. The destruction of Palestine. I'm not for that. I'm not for that. I'm not for what's happening with the destruction of Palestine currently. For us to conclude that it's okay to destroy Palestine is an absurdity. How could we possibly approve of the destruction that we see and the lives that are being taken? How could we approve of that? I don't approve of it. If others can approve of it, killing of babies, I don't approve of it. Yes, you have a right to defend yourself, but you have to do it in a just fashion. To perform, if you will, an unjust act in the name of justice is still an injustice. You cannot clean it up by saying it's a just act. Your actions themselves speak for you. Killing babies is not a just act, especially when you've declared war on Hamas and you end up killing Palestinian babies. It was wrong to kill Israeli babies. What Hamas did was dastardly. And the way they did it is impossible to even imagine a human being doing it. But you can't complain about killing the Israeli babies and then decide, well, it's okay. The Palestinian babies are just collateral damage. Just happen to be in the wrong place. What is wrong with us? I will not support the killing of these Palestinian babies. I will not support the destruction of Gaza. And I pray that this country will come to its senses. How long can this go on? My dear friends, I'm always honored to have this opportunity. I don't know how much longer I'll have it. There are a lot of people who don't like what I say, who have the power to change rules. As you've seen today, they can change the rules. So I never know when I'll be giving my last speech from this podium. But until I have as long as I have the opportunity to give a speech, I'm going to speak truth to power. But more than that, I'm going to speak truth about power. I yield back the balance of my time.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am proud to be here today with my colleagues, all of whom are liberated Democrats. Let's hear it for these liberated Democrats. All of whom are unbought, unbossed, and unafraid. Unafraid to stand up for the many seniors that are among us. We have seniors that are among us. Unafraid to say to Donald John Trump, hands off Medicaid and Medicare. It belongs to our seniors. Social Security is not a Ponzi scheme. It is a part of the American dream. It belongs to our seniors. And we have to tell President Trump that Canada is not going to become the 51st state. Russia invaded Ukraine. Greenland is not for sale. And he also needs to know, dear friends, that Gaza is not going to become a resort. Gaza is not going to become a resort. There must be a home for the Palestinian people. Yeah, there must be. There must be. And I'm here to speak from my heart. This message is from my heart. It's not from my head. This is my heart. I want you to know something. I carry this cane because there are people who don't like me. They don't like my cane. But I carry this cane because after having celebrated my 25th birthday 3 times, 2 years into my 4th 25th, I carry this cane. And I carry this cane because I believe in the 23rd Psalm. That portion that reads, "Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, because my rod and my staff comforts me." This is my comforter. This is my comforter. And I want you to know that I'm going to take this staff of truth, and I'm going to take this rod, and I want President Trump to know that he's not going to have a 3rd term. There will be no 3rd term. 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 But more important than this, dear brothers and sisters, and I say brothers and sisters because there really is but one race, and that's the human race. Yeah, we're all related. We're all related. And L.S.B. Leakey, a noted anthropologist and paleontologist, reminds us that all of human life can be traced back to a single African woman. So if we're not brothers and sisters, we're at least cousins. So dear cousins, hear this message for Donald Trump, for President Trump. This is more important. I want President Trump to know that I will use my staff of freedom to bring forth, proudly bring forth, a message that should say to him, he may not finish this term. He may not finish this term. He may not finish this term. He may not finish. He may not finish this term. Here's why. Here's why. Here's why. Here's why. Here's why. Here's why. Because you are now sowing the seeds that can lead to a Congress being elected that will have the courage to not only have articles of impeachment filed, but to impeach him a 3rd time. Impeach him a 3rd time. A 3rd time. And a Senate. We need a Senate that will convict him this time. And I want you to know from my heart, I understand that he is a Goliath. He is a Goliath. He has control of the generals and the military. He has control of the Justice Department. He has control of the Republican Party. But my friends, for every Goliath, there is a David. There's a David. These are your Davids. There's a David. And I want you to know, Mr. President, this David is going to bring articles of impeachment against you within the next 30 days. Within the next 30 days. I'm bringing articles of impeachment. I'm coming for you, Mr. President. This David is coming for you. You don't deserve the office you hold. You can't be entrusted with liberty and justice for all. You can't be entrusted with government of the people, by the people, for the people. I'm coming for you. I'm your David. God bless you.